starting a stream via my Samsung tablet, and what we are doing is we are testing cloning apps. So I had added some new channels to my Restream account, and I don't seem to. Okay, so we're online. Finally, I got a hello. So we got a broadcast going, and just so you know which software we're using Camera-Fi Live. This little icon here. Let me make sure my developer options are on, so you can see which icons I use to let's see. So in case you guys don't know how to unlock developer options on a Android device, you go to About Tablet, you hit the, I believe it's the model number, or is it the build? You go to the build number and you tap it 10 times, and this should unlock developer options. And this way what I can do is switch a little setting on so you can see my pointer, my stylus, to which icons that I point to. So I'm going to use the build number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, it's not the build number. Maybe it's the model number. I forget how to do it. It's model number or build number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so it's not the model number. Let's see. Status. It's not status. It should be build number. So we're on Android 7. Maybe this tablet doesn't support developer options, but I know it does. Okay, well, I'm on a different user profile, so maybe I can't unlock that feature. So, we're using Camera-Fi Live, which is my new favorite streaming software, because I can use Restream.io, which I find is a very helpful multi-streaming software that is free, that allows you to stream, if you have a premium account, to more than over 30 different platforms. Right now we are streaming to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube Live, and then YouTube Events, and also Periscope. So with the free account, I'm using 5 channels right now that I'm multi-streaming to, and I'm using this icon right here. So I don't see that in the stream. I'm watching my stream. Okay, so I hope that the stream is broadcasting. Okay, and then we are using a Samsung Tab S2. And the great thing about this device is that it has multiple profile features. So right now, if you look at the top of the screen, something's about to die. It better not be this tablet. Let me check the power. I'm at 33%, so I'm going to have to plug in the power supply, because I am running a lot of apps. And if I check my device info real quick, right now I only have 1.2 gigabytes free, and I only have 553 megabytes of free memory. So this little widget that I found in widgets, so like if you press hard on the main screen, you could find wallpapers or widgets. So for this device, based on the apps that I installed, these are the different widgets that I have available to me. So I'm just going through different apps that I use. This is not a regular focus live stream. It's just going through the device, the apps that I use, how the device is set up. So let's go back. So just to show the top, when you pull down the menu, clear all these notifications. It has this, see where the little yellow icon is? These are different profiles. So currently I'm on my second user profile. So I have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 user profiles. So basically it's like 6 desktops, okay? 6 desktops. And the reason why I love this Samsung Tab S2 and its model number T713 is because it only weighs about maybe 2 pounds, and it's gold, like gold metallic, lightweight. It's very hard to find, and I actually got it on eBay refurbished. New. This tablet runs you about maybe $170. I got mine for not new. No, I'm sorry. New. I take that back. New. Well, let's just search how much the Samsung Tab S2 costs. New T713. Let's just find out how much it costs. And the browser that I'm using, so I'm going to tell you each app that I use as we go. I use Vivaldi. That is my go-to browser because I find that is the most reliable. So my streaming, I can't tell how well it's streaming. It's streaming at, oh wow, 628 kilobytes. That's not so great. My resolution is 720. Anyways, let's just find the price of this tablet new. Tab S2. And this particular model is not easy to find. But it works. But recently, I've been having so many problems because I have too many profiles. Okay, so new, it runs you about $349, okay? Now, I have the 7-inch, so let's see. Hold on, 7-inch. And this device did not come from California. I mean, the United States is actually Canadian. Okay, so new, it runs you... Do they even make the 7-inch? They might have discontinued this model. And I tried to buy a second one. Let's see. Let's see if I can find this one. Let's look on the eBay prices. Brand new. It doesn't have 3 gigabytes. Why is it showing... Oh, that's weird. That's weird. It's not showing the actual picture of the device. Refresh. Okay, so the gold model, which is the one that I have, new, it runs you about $215, you guys. So you cannot find this model under like 200 bucks. And right now, brand new, it costs you $215. I paid $110 for a grade A factory, like pre-owned device, factory reset. I mean, it came in immaculate condition. Okay, so I tried to buy a new one just recently, the identical tablet in gold, but I cannot find it. I only was able to find the black one. So, like, for example, mine is, I believe it's 32 gig storage capacity. Let me see here. Let's just go to the settings. I forget if it's 16 or 32, but I'm pretty sure it's 32. And I just ordered another tablet, but it's not like this one, which I absolutely love. I mean, this, okay, so this storage is, yeah, it's 32 gigs. And right now, I'm waiting for Samsung to put out tablets that have dual micro SD slots. They have dual SIM cards, but not dual SD slots. So we're checking to see how much storage I've used via. Okay, yeah, it's 32 gigabyte. Okay. So I only have about 1.2 gigabytes of space. But on my SD card, I have 119 gigabytes. Now, the reason why there's such a difference is because 85% of the apps that I use on the different user profiles are not transferable to the SD card, meaning they won't load from the SD card. Now, there are hundreds of app to SD card apps, meaning you transfer your app to your SD card. And a lot of those apps you do not need. You do not need. Okay, and so the file manager that I use, and the reason why I have this error keep stopping is because I installed a cloning app, which I'm going to show you guys right now, and I advise you do not install it. It is malware. It's one of like the best cloning apps. There's 3 main cloning new ones that I use. I have a bunch of older ones that I still use, but the main ones, the new ones that I use are these 3, and I'll just show you them real quick. So the main one, oh, hold on, I have to add this. Okay, so each like window I have it customized for certain apps and for certain purposes. Like some of them, some like this window is very customized. It's all cloning apps, and we're gonna get there soon. But hold on, I have to find an app real quick that needs to go with. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, I jump around. I am ADD. So the 3 cloning apps that I was telling you that I use that are really good, that have actually updated They used to look different, their icons, but one of them is this one, multiple space, okay? And they're all happen to be purple. And I don't know if they're from the same developer and they just switched the developer tool name and switched the description text. Just so you know, Google Play Store is smoke and mirrors. Do not always go to Google Play Store to download your apps if you're an Android user, or use an Android emulator if you're a Windows user. If you're going to download Play Store apps, I suggest you get a solid browsers, and my two solid go-to browsers right now are Samsung Internet and Vivaldi, because they're encrypted and they're secure. There are hundreds of browsers, and I test new browsers all the time, and they are not always what they claim to be. And I don't use Google browsers. I don't use Google search. I have Google accounts. Most of my Gmail accounts are Google, but I have to because I started those accounts a long time ago, and now I use Google accounts for a bunch of different apps, so I can't really get away from using Google products. I'm going to pause the stream for a second because my chicken is burning. Oh, I can't pause. Okay, well, hold on a second, and then I'll be right back. Boots, you and your toilet paper eating, you stupid dog. Why the hell do you want to eat poop and paper? Boots, why do you want to eat poop and paper? Boots, you're so silly. Alrighty, I'm back. So, to get back to what I was talking about, the cloning apps. Out of the new cloning apps, multiple space, multiple accounts. So I'm just going to, so you can see, multiple accounts. And then this last one, it says Parallel App Assist. It all depends if you're using a 32-bit or 64-bit. So these are new secondary installers that you need for some of these cloning apps. Now to get back to the cloning app situation. Are we back online? Yeah. There is a cloning app called Two Accounts, and I'll just pull it up in Play Store. And it is malware. So, and then I'll go back to my Play Store, Smoke and Mirrors, heads up. So, like when you go to Play Store, and you search for apps, do not believe everything that you see, and especially do not believe the star ratings or go by the star ratings, okay, or by the developer, because all of that is interchangeable and it changes daily and it is intermixed up, because there has been multiple occasions where I have downloaded one app, right? Because I test apps daily and then I uninstall them, but I save the APKs on a SD card just in case I want to use it again in the future. Just so you know, what Google Play Store does is to get clicks and downloads is they will make an app, right? They'll change the name of the app. They'll change the icon color. And then they'll switch the developer's name. And then they'll copy the text to the new app, like of the app description, and make a new cloned app with a different icon with a different name. And I'll show you that example. There's an app called, it was a cloning app that used to be called MoChat. And MoChat, when you go to search for in Play Store, it doesn't exist. But it still does exist. It's just a different, they switched it up with a different, it's probably the same developer, but they changed the icon and they changed the name, and now they call it Parallel App. But it's not in Play Store. On the mobile Play Store, I cannot find it. But if you use Play Store online in a browser that is set for desktop version, and you don't have to be on an actual physical desktop, you can be on a mobile device. Okay, you can be on a mobile device and use Play Store online, and you will find about 4 times as many apps than you will on the mobile version. Okay, so this app right here, Do by Excellence Technology, okay, 5 million downloads. So this app has been used for a long time, okay, and it's been downloaded over and over again, but it is malware. I repeat, do not install Two Accounts by Excellence Technology. I repeat, do not install this cloning app. It works fabulously. It's one of the only out of like 5 cloning apps. I have about 10, but out of those 10, only about 4 or 5 of them, if you want to clone a game, only about 4 or 5 of those apps actually create separate environments to install the second account, meaning it won't emulate the original app. Like, for example, if you want to clone, and I play a game called SimCity. If you want to clone SimCity and use a second account for SimCity and play 2 accounts on your device, you just clone the app, right? But because it uses Google Play services to log in to the second city, and it uses Facebook login, there are errors, and you cannot clone a game's ID. Like, that is not clonable. It will recognize the game, and it will actually, when you open up the cloned version of the account, it will load the same city. But say you want to create a second city or a second environment or a second space of the app. There's only about 4 or 5 apps that actually create a completely separate environment with a completely separate account where you can run a cloned version of the app, but with a unique environment. Usually cloner apps or cloning apps in general, they clone the original app. And when you open it, it opens the original app's account. And when you go to try to change the settings and log into a different account on the cloned app, it will say this does not work. This is attached to a different profile, meaning the original account. Anyways, I'll get out of this app. But do not remember this, you guys. If you have to screenshot it, whatever you have to do. I can't zoom in. Let me see if I can find my magnifying glass. Let me just download a magnifying glass. So I'm going to show you in a few seconds how to use Play Store online and why it's better. Now see, here's the reason. Look at this review. This is why 2 accounts is fucked up. And just so you know, when you go to Play Store mobile app, the way it's designed, it will, when you read the reviews, it always goes in this algorithm, this particular algorithm. It will show you a good review, then a bad review, then a good review, then a bad review, then a good review, then a bad review. And then you could filter it, the reviews, but don't always go by the reviews, because some of the best apps that I have found have not been 4-star. They've been like 2 and 3 stars ratings, okay? That have been better than some 4 and 5-star apps that I have downloaded. Now look, now just read this. This is the only app that I found capable of cloning Google Play services. Now, I was just talking about that. Most apps, or gaming apps per se, use Google Play services to log in to certain games, okay? And if you don't, and most of like the cloning apps, the Google Play service feature is broken. And I'll show you that later at a different time. But listen to this review. Now you can go ahead and download it because this app works great. But if you're not worried about your malware, or if you're not worried about viruses, then go ahead and play with this app, because it can do certain things that a lot of cloning apps can't do, like what I had just mentioned a moment ago. So let's just read this review. The only app that I found capable of cloning Google Play services. Works perfect, but couldn't test the private storage or password protection. Now, you see, because there's a reason why. So you can, why would you want to clone Google Play services? The reason why is because this person wants to use a cloning app for the purpose of logging into a cloned game per se on a different user account on the same device, as involves a huge subscription fee. Gmail loaded a bit slower for the first time, then all apps up to speed. Okay, now here's a reason why not to download this app. So that was a good reason. There's a pro and cons. The con is, if you do not want any security, malware, or viruses, don't install the app. But if you don't care about security, then install 2 accounts, because it actually works really good. So let's read this update. 15th of October. Broke my Lord's mobile game. See? 2 years, it's worked perfectly, and now I can't use the app anymore. It claims game has an update, but there's no such thing. Due to this error, I can't enter the game anymore. Now you see? Now this is just in October. This is just a month ago. Okay, now let's see another review. Hey, this was the best cloner and now it's broken. You see, there is a big downfall to this cloner app, you guys. Didn't I say in my previous review not to change anything? It's just crashing when starting any app. I won't mention the other apps it's broke, and I did lose data. So I have reports out due to this error, guys. Please fix this. You see? Now, listen to this. This gets even worse. One of my games was completely erased of the user data, and now I have to start over. The new 32-bit update should have been included in the original download. So, what's happening is most of these apps you can install just as is, regardless if it's 32 or 64-bit. But because nowadays we're using cross-platform OSs, and we're using Windows emulators, we're using Android emulators. There's reasons why all these new apps have to update their original apps to include 32-bit and 64-bit helpers, or engines, if you will. So those are two very serious reviews. It totally crashed his game. It's broke. He can't load it. This user erased the data completely, and that was included in the original download. Now here's a third really bad review. I like this app, but now it's stuck in the battle loading screen. So like I say, a lot of users use cloning apps to clone games so they can play multiple versions of their games on the same device and be logged into 2, 3, 4, 5 different accounts, if you will. And I do that. But I'm not a PC gamer, but I do play one Android game called SimCity Build It. Now, I play the new SimCity, not the old school SimCity that most PC gamers play. And now look at this 5-star review. I really cherish this app. It's the best one. Needs to run multiple accounts on a single device. Thumbs up. Very nice. It works perfectly. Another 5-star. Another 5-star. Now listen to this. Not clearly understanding why this app is on Google Play Store, Android OS red flagged this list. Warning. Meaning this app has been red flagged, just like I'm flagging you now. Do not install it because it has malware. Anyway, my view is so far this app is doing great and allows me to save into Play account, unlike similar competitor cloning apps. Keep up the good work. This app is terrible at pushing through notifications. Even if they're just it uses a lot of background data, and the notifications are like constant, meaning in the background, it's always running in the background. Now, you can use this account to clone like messenger apps. You can use it to clone lightweight, like, social media apps. But if you are a gamer and you want to protect your game data, I would not suggest using 2 accounts to clone any games. Okay? Do not do it. Just don't do it. Okay, so that's one reason. So I don't have it installed on this device. I used to use it, but I don't use it on this device. It's a tablet. It's an Android tablet. Now I'm going to go to Play Store online, and I'm going to show you why you want to install Android apps using the Play Store online instead of the Play Store mobile app. And I use two ways to get to Play Store online. Now, usually when you open a browser and you want to go to Play Store online and you click the link, or you type in the browser and you search for Play Store online, it prompts you to go, it will automatically open the Play Store. So let's just do a test. So say for example, we want to go to Play Store online. But I have a fix for this, guys. I have a go around. Okay, so there's Play Store online. So it shows you, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then there's an actual link. Like an actual URL where you can go to the Play Store and use the online version. So let me click on it and see if it goes to the online version. Nope. It defaults back to the mobile app. And there's a reason for that. They want you to use the mobile version for a reason. But there is a workaround. Now, I use Samsung Internet browser because it has a special feature, meaning you could use secret mode. And when you use secret mode, it totally encrypts all your surfing, even if you don't have a VPN, even if you don't have, security software running, it encrypts your browsing. So when I turn on secret mode and I use the desktop version, you have to make sure you switch to desktop. Okay, let's go back. Now, let's switch to desktop. Okay. Now I'm going to try to go to Google Play Store online again. Headphones. Headphones.
I'm trying to see you to stay them all free, but it feels more like losing a lot of friends.
I know your problem. You've loved my mother ever since you met her.
Remember, step 1, open a browser that has desktop version capability. So let's go to the Play Store. And what does it do? It defaults to the mobile app, even though I have the desktop. Okay? Now let me show you the workaround. Okay, so if you click on the little bars up here on the very top right, okay, and you want to turn on secret mode. So I'm going to reset my secret mode. Okay, I'm going to change the password, reset the secret mode. Yep, I'm going to reset it because I always forget the stupid password. Okay, so I'm going to use a password. So I'm going to also use biometrics. Now this is a really great feature in Samsung. This is why I use Samsung devices. So I'm just going, I don't care if you guys see this, there's no way I can mask it, whatever, it doesn't matter, because anyway, so I'm just going to do, it has to be, okay, are we still streaming? Our streaming, yeah, we're still streaming. My streaming health is probably not so great, so I don't know the playback how it's going to be. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to turn secret mode on and try to open the Play Store app online. So let's turn on secret mode. So you go to the settings on the very top right. Okay. You hit the little thing, looks like a lock, turn on secret mode. Now I can use my fingerprint because I've already set up fingerprints. So I just use my fingerprint. That's the beauty of Samsung devices because they are designed with security, very, very much so. Let me see the stream health. It says we're offline. No, we're online. Let's just check the stream health. I probably need to change the bit rate. So I'm trying to wait to see if what's going on with the stream health. Chat toast. We have no chat going. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so the workaround, okay, to get to the Play Store online, make sure you have your browser set to desktop version. Okay, and now I'm in secret mode. So when I go, here for example, when you search a link, it saves it in the memory. All your search settings are saved. So if you try to go to that link like 4 or 5 times, it knows, and it's always going to default. It's just like sometimes you want to log into the desktop version of YouTube on your mobile device, but it always sets you back to mobile. But there's workarounds. So let's search for Play Store online. And I'm actually using a very nice keyboard that is not your Samsung keyboard, and it's not a keyboard installed from Samsung Galaxy apps. But if you notice when I type, it's real simple, but it has nice colors on the keys. So if you can see that while I type. So we're looking for Play-L-A-Y. If you can see that as I type, it's really nice. So we're looking for Play Store online. And I'm just going to, search for it. Google. Go. How do I go? Google search. Oh, durr. Okay, so if we look, I need to get a tool. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to download a tool to draw on the screen. So the third link down is Google Play Store, okay? Now let's see if it takes me to the online version. There we go. That's the workaround. Okay, so now I already have this link. Now if you try to I'm actually streaming to my Play Store Reviews YouTube channel right now. If you can always like save this link, like bookmark it. I already have it bookmarked. Okay. So I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it secret bookmarks, whatever. Even though I already have it. I don't know which, if I'm signed in. I don't even know. Let's see. Okay. I don't even know which. Okay, I'm not signed in to my Samsung account. Now, because I have so many different emails, I have certain accounts that I use to sync the browser, and sometimes I just use it for whatever purpose. I'm not signed in, so blah 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 blah. I'm not signed in. It doesn't have any of my Google information, and I'm still using it. So let me add it to bookmarks. You can click on that little star. So is it added in my secret bookmarks? Well, whatever. Anyways. Okay, so here we are. Cookies help us deliver by using our services, you agree to use our cookies. Got it. So because I'm using the desktop version, we can zoom in and out. Now, if I want to go and download an app, of course I'm going to have to log into my Google account, right? But what we're talking about is cloning apps. So now what I'm going to do is show you the difference of when you search for Google apps on the Play Store online versus you search for Google. I'm streaming live. Don't tell me to shut up. Turn your volume on. Turn your volume up on your headphones. So I'm going to show you the difference in the results you get when you search for Google apps on Play Store online versus Google apps via the mobile version of Google Play Store. Now, the only problem is I don't have a go button on here. So let's see. Sound on touch, symbols on keys. Okay, so let's search. Okay, so just to get an idea of what's going to pop up in your cloning apps on Play Store are these. Now these are like the newest of the cloning app series. Now their algorithm, I do not know how their algorithm works for the cloning apps. I don't know if they show you the 5-star first or the 3-star or the newest. That I haven't figured out. But because I test apps daily, you kind of get a feel for which apps are going to pop up first. But if you notice, all these cloning apps we did not see in the mobile version. And what I'm going to do is save this page. I'm going to print it. I'm going to make a PDF file. So if I want to try to find these apps again, because not every single time you go to search will you find the same app. So I'm going to print this file. Oh, and also you can, one of the good things about Samsung Internet is that you can add nice plugins. So I'm going to print this. Okay, I'm going to make a PDF. Now, unfortunately, their default print plugin doesn't show you color images of the actual icons of the apps, but it does give you the name of the app. And if you have the name of the app, that's important. So my latest thing is that so there's 8 pages. Now why can't we get a color preview? My latest thing is creating PDFs from images and converting images to PNGs, because JPEGs, TIFFs, .movs, all of those older file formats just take up a lot of space. And the new formats like the PNG, WebPH, some of the newer file formats take up so much less space and have the same quality. So PNGs are great. And PDFs are wonderful. And there's all different types of new PDF apps. And that will be at another date. But today we're just kind of focusing on cloning apps. So I want to save this PDF. Now let me see if I can change the settings to color. I want color. But it's not showing me, it's not showing me the icons. Now, I think the reason why it's not showing me the icons is because that is a Google, like a security feature. But I can still make a PDF. And I will still have the information of all those apps. And then what I do is I'll create a PDF from a screenshot of each and one of those apps, okay? Meaning I'll create a continuous PDF file based on images. So I'm going to save this to my, where do we want to save this? I'll save this to my documents folder. Blah, 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 blah. Internal storage. Done. Okay, and I have to do something real fast. I just noticed. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. Let me do something I noticed that I have to fix real quick. Now, I always use, why I use this file manager, you guys, I can't explain. And if you use rooted devices, I'm going to show you 2 new file managers and browsers that are awesome. They just came out like a week ago. So I'm selecting all of these. Oh, shit. Shit. Okay, I have to do something. In order for my SD card to show up, I have to, like, trick my phone. Because I'm using, when you have multiple profiles on a tablet, it doesn't let you access the SD card on each profile. It usually only lets you access the micro SD card on the main profile. But I have a workaround for that. Is what I do is I take it out real quick and then I put it back in. So what I'm doing right now, what you can't see, is I'm removing the SD card for a second, okay? And then I'm going to put it back in. Okay. And then it's going to show up. I need to move some files that I just found that I thought were in a secure private. So let me make sure that it's, okay. Let me see if the SD card is showing up. See, OneDrive is bullshit. See, I'm having errors because I installed that 2Accounts app and it leaves traces of itself in the system, Android system, that you cannot find. Now my SD card better showed up. Yep, showed up. So I'm moving some private documents to my SD card I do not want on my main storage. Okay. So let's go and look at our PDF that we just created in the Play Store online. Give me a second while I find it. Is today the 4th? Yes. Okay, so I'm trying to find the PDF that I just created from Play Store. Okay, I might be in the main folder.
Delilah, the dogs are hungry.
The chicken is cooking!
It's cooked.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is create a PDF again. It is not cooked. I'm low simmering it. Okay, so Samsung Internet did not... Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to create another PDF because I don't know where it disappeared to, and that can happen. So I'm going to print. Now, the only drawback to using Samsung Internet, even though it's very secure, is that it does not have a lot of extensions. Like, if you want to add, you know, very special extensions, it doesn't have a super extension library for the browser. And Samsung Galaxy apps is like, they're okay and they work for like Samsung devices, but they don't have a huge variety. Like, obviously Chrome extensions are amazing. They have a lot more variety. So anyways, let's print this page and then look at the actual PDF after I printed it, what it looks like. Now, it should be 8 pages, meaning that there's going to be 8 pages of results of different cloning apps from our very first search on the Play Store app online. I'm getting errors always. And this whole new error thing keeps stopping, keeps closing. I don't know what app is causing it. Now look, it is showing the icons in color. Now, okay, had something to do. I don't know if my SD card is encrypted or if my SD card is not encrypted. I don't know if it's an error on the actual device or which app is causing the error. But if you noticed a moment ago when we created the PDF, it just had blank icons and it had the actual app names but no picture. So now we're going to save this real fast. We want to save this. This is awesome. This is so awesome. Yeah. So what I was going to do is download another PDF app and then use that to create a PDF from screenshots so I can get a color version, but it's working. Now that this annoying thing, I don't know. So I want to save it to my files. Now, is it going to let me save it to my SD card? No. Okay, so even though I can access my SD card, it's not going to let me save it to my SD card. So I'm going to save it to my internal storage. I'm going to save it to... I just figured out something. Mom, Apps on Fly, that Windows emulator. Remember I told you that Windows emulator app, Mom. Excuse me for a minute, you guys. I can't pause the live stream. Mom, remember that Apps on Fly virtual Windows app online that I used, and I told you it extracted all my data off my SD card to test Windows, like you know. I just found it did not access my SD card, it actually accessed my internal storage remotely. Meaning that, okay, all I did, it accessed my internal storage, not the files on the SD card, but my storage on my,
Main unit.
yes, on the device. Because I'm looking at the file list right now, and it's showing everything that they intercepted. Now, if you guys are listening, do not use Apps on Fly. It's a free online 60-day trial to access Windows, a virtual emulator online via your Android device, meaning you can log into Windows, use the apps. They give you a temporary password, a temporary username, and you can use Windows on your Android device, but do not use it because it intercepted the data of my device onto its virtual machine, and it now has my storage on my Android somehow copied into their system. So do not trust Apps on Fly.
End it, please. Nobody wants to listen for an hour at all the shit that nobody.
No, I live stream for hours.
Well, nobody's gonna listen to it
Yes,
for hours.
people live stream for hours. That's how they do it.
Well, shut up. I'm sick of it.
Well, I usually live stream for 2-3 hours. That's,
We're going downstairs to the basement. Do it. Don't sit here and do it.
I don't have the
You're
cables.
turning TV on.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the PDF that I just created. And it should be in my documents folder. There it is. It's 9 megabytes. It's kind of big, but not super huge. And look at what we got, guys. We have a full book of all the latest cloning apps on Google Play, saved into a convenient little file. Isn't this great? PDFs are wonderful. So now, when I do my research, I can always backtrack. And this is how I keep track of like the apps that I install and uninstall. So what I'll do is I will just install the app, test it out, use it. But what I do is I save the APK file designated on, what I'll do is I'll back it up in App Manager. And then I create a separate file folder in my SD cards, and I just save my APKs. Meaning I can transfer and reinstall that app anytime, on any device, anywhere, without having to go to Play Store and reinstall it, and with the chances of the app no longer existing. Now, a lot of times when you install APKs, you will get an error message, and that's because it's not in the right location. And usually when you download APK files from third-party app services like APK Pure, APK Mirror, let's see, some of the there's other ones, APK sites online that are pretty popular, Softpedia, Up to Downtown. When you install those APKs, it's not going to install with just a package installer. Like, you can't just open it and install, especially if you're looking for an older version. You're going to get an error message. So the best way to do it is to install it onto your Google Drive. Okay, install the APK file onto a Google Drive, not an SD card, not your downloads folder, not a special folder in your main storage, but to the Google Drive. This is just a workaround. And then install the app directly from your Google Drive onto your phone. Okay, so there we go. We have a great PDF. Okay, we're done with that. So that is a great feature. Very, very good tool. Now my battery is draining super fast. Why? I don't know. Maybe because it's not plugged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to regroup because I have to leave the premises, and I'm going to come back to this live stream in a different location. Oh, so my bit rate is now at 1097 kilobytes. Okay, that's even better. So I'm going to end the live stream, and then we're going to regroup because I have to move down to the basement because my where I'm actually live streaming from is somebody's house, and I'm in their private space, and I'm annoying them. So I will be back, and I thank you for watching.